Mike Bloomberg supporters, why? I'm paid to make memes. Bloomberg associate, alright, so you/Beavis and Buttholes, what are your qualifications? Beavis and Buttholes, I have 4,510 karma. Bloomberg associate, fuck he's good. You're hired. Edit, karma can't. Confirmed Bloomberg, move. Without a serious tag, this is going to be a fun thread. I want to read a version of this with a serious tag, but this shit is hilarious. Just another AskReddit thread asking for people to justify their unpopular opinions, where anyone actually holding the opinion is downvoted. As always, sort by controversial if you're interested in the actual answer. There are plenty of them there. Someone should probably inform the Bloomberg campaign about this thread so they can contract some supporters to come over and post. They already have. In fact, they posted it to find weak points to analyze. Mr. Bloomberg man, I will support you for an original Toyota Supra. You'd probably have better luck asking this on Facebook. Just sort by controversial. Seriously, the people I know supporting him are all boomers. Because as Americans, what we really want in an election is a former Democrat running as a Republican against a former Republican running as a Democrat. Both as arrogant as can be, but claiming to concerned about the little guy, both with baggage that should sink any presidential hopeful. Such a time to be an American. Remember when people said Romney was too rich to be a good president? Why can't these billionaires just go spend their money to become masked vigilantes like the good old days? Because he offered me $250. On the subject of spending Bloomberg's money, there's a site that lets you spend Bill Gates' money just to get a sense of how rich he is. Now, Gates is a bit richer than Bloomberg. Gates is worth about 90 billion, Bloomberg only about 60 billion. But, for most stuff, that doesn't matter. If you go to that site, you can click a button to see what impact it would have to buy a Super Bowl ad, or buy a cruise liner, or buy a 747. If you do that, you see just how little something like a Super Bowl ad, or even a whole presidential run, costs to someone as rich as Bloomberg. But Yang offered you $1,000 a month. Every month. Because the 1 minute long ads keep telling me I always get sad when I see someone stroke out right in front of me on Reddit. Also remember, he has said he's got $2 billion to run on. If Bernie wins, and gets his net worth tax in place, he'll be taxed over $3 billion. So when he loses bad, then doubles down, it's cause he doesn't care if he wins, he just needs to split the vote so Bernie doesn't. I promised at the beginning of the year I would only vote for the candidate whose ads I see most often on YouTube. Bloomberg/Shade 2020? I'm voting for Squarespace. He's the lesser of two evils. I'm looking forward to Bezos 2024, where he just skips the charade and outright buys America. What's stopping him from buying it right now? Aubrey, could I trouble you for the salt? I'm a simple man, I see 37 YouTube ads in a day, and my mind is effectively changed. Edit, Jesus Christ Reddit, I know what the fuck adblock is. I leave YouTube on in the background on my work computer where I cannot have adblock. We laugh, but it works. People who mostly avoid politics get a YouTube or radio or TV ad making what seems like a reasonable case for a candidate, and lacking anything that disagrees with it, it makes an impact. No wonder Bloomberg doesn't register with anyone under 40, we don't have cable and we know how to install an ad blocker. Not me, but my aunt and uncle. Basically, after she was done explaining that they hide their incomes, which are very high, so as to avoid paying the actual amount of taxes they should, etc., she told me he was gonna be their guy. Because that. Funniest part was I had just finished saying I basically paid a lot of money for health insurance and in taxes because I freelance. And she somehow thought that me, a poor person, actually paying my taxes, was absurd and I should somehow agree with and be proud of their cunning. My family hates them. My calculus teacher in high school said, tax evasion is illegal, but tax avoidance is everybody's God-given duty. He advocated to try to get as many deductions as possible. Didn't hide income. You know, you could alert the IRS of their tax evasion scheme. Because I want to be stopped and frisked. I hope you're a minority then. Dr. Cocktoft, hey officer. Yo. Officer. Over here. My turn. Officer, goddammit, it's that guy again. This election, we may have a New York billionaire business mogul in his 70s, who has enacted racist policies, made sexist comments, and switched political parties for convenience. Versus Donald Trump. So when the Dems run Bloomberg and lose, do they forfeit the right to oppose racist, sexist, democracy-corrupting billionaires? Oof. That hits a little too hard. Nice try, Mike Bloomberg advertising team edit. Fuckers, stop giving me gold/silver for dunking on an obvious ad. If you really wanna make me happy, send me receipts of you donating to the Trevor Project or Bernie Sanders. I received a text yesterday asking me to take a survey. Halfway through, I became 90% sure it was put on by the Bloomberg campaign. Some of the way it led to desired answers were laughable. The first 3 or 4 questions were about the general group of Democratic candidates, then the 5th one was straight up, have you seen Michael Bloomberg advertisements? If yes, did they make you feel more favorable towards him? And then there were a series of questions either only about him or about him versus other candidates. Never any question asking about a group of candidates without Bloomberg's name. TBH, the constant ads has made me hate him when before I would have been neutral. A colleague of mine is a serious supporter. He considers himself a centrist and believes that Bloomberg sits firmly in the middle of the political scale, which is a positive to him. He supports Bloomberg's police actions and doesn't see them as racist, just practical. He called out Trump by saying he had an ugly spray-on tan, was obese, and had fake hair, in 12 BTW. Turns out in the alternate universe US is just a big elementary school playground. Reminds me of a video I saw where interviewers, for some godforsaken reason, decided to ask actual children why they supported/opposed Trump. The supporter kid said he liked Trump because he was going to kick the Mexicans out of America. The opposer kid said he didn't like Trump because he's a loser who is gay and has no life due to his haircut. You should post this on r/politics if you want to break the record for user with least karma. There are plenty of people out there who want nothing to do with super progressive economic policies but despise Trump. If you want Trump out but don't agree with Bernie's economic tilt, where else should someone go? Pete getting beat up now. Warren has gone full Bernie. Klobuchar still very unknown. And Biden being Biden. This comment is all the proof her campaign needs that Warren's messaging failed. Warren has actually slid much more moderate, but that just goes to show how awful her messaging has been recently. Lol. Probably should not have hired those Clinton staffers. Me, opens r/AskReddit sees thread me, oh, is that what we're gonna do today? We're gonna fight? Well, it takes less energy than actually voting. Because a Trump versus Trump-like debate would be hilarious. I know you're kidding, but it just sucks that a lot of people voted for Trump because they thought it would be funny. This all just sucks. Make politics boring again 2020. I have more money. Let me see your tax return. Subscribe for more hot Reddit takes in your inbox, guaranteed.